Hi, so my name is Elizabeth Thacker, and today I performed the lemon electrochemical cell experiment for my Chemistry 2 course. So the first thing that I had to do for this was gather my materials. The first thing that you will need to complete this experiment is a lemon. I tried to choose the one with the biggest surface so I would have the most amount of space to insert my metal and the wiring. The next thing you're going to need is electrical wire, preferably rubber coated, and mine is red for this experiment. I chose red so it would be easily visible. The next thing this experiment calls for are copper clips and zinc coated nails. Now I had a lot of difficulty finding these items. I could only find brass clips, and I really just couldn't find any zinc coated nails. I wasn't at a hardware store, so that might have been part of my problem. Instead, I chose to use pennies. Pennies that are made before the year 1982 are mostly composed of copper, while pennies after the year 1982 are 95% zinc, so they're a good alternative if you can't find copper clips and zinc coated nails. So after you've gathered these materials, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you have the zinc and the copper items separate so you don't get those mixed up, and you're going to need 6 of each of them. And you're going to want to insert them into the lemon. I did this by cutting little slots with a knife and just shoving the coins down into the lemon. You can see in this photo I have 6 of my copper coins on one side and then 6 of my zinc coins on another side, and they're just all in a row, and I've made sure that they're down there in that lemon. Next, you're going to want to attach your wiring to the copper and zinc coins, and you do this by wiring them up crossways, and you can see an example of this in the photo that is shown on the screen. And then I have the 2 end pieces of wire that are in the red coated color as my positive and negative, and those will help us start our fire later on in the video. The next thing I did was build this just little pile of tissue paper and steel wool underneath it. That is another item that you will need later on, but you could easily replace it with wood, or I guess just even more paper. And then this is a photo of that little pile of paper and steel wool next to my lemon, and it's all wired up and ready to begin the experiment. So when I connected the 2 wires together and put them next to my kindling there, it really didn't take long for a fire to start at all, and the paper was so flammable that once it did start, it really spread, and it ended up creating quite a nice little burn, which you will be able to see in the following video. Batteries are containers that store chemical energy, which can be converted to electrical energy, or what is commonly known as electricity. They depend on an electrochemical reaction to do this. The reaction typically occurs between 2 pieces of metal called electrodes and a liquid or a paste called an electrolyte. For a battery to work well, the electrodes must be made up of 2 different types of materials. This ensures that one will react differently than the other with the electrolyte. This difference is what generates electricity. Connect the 2 electrodes with a material that can transport electricity well, called a conductor, and a chemical reaction occurs. So, in this experiment, the copper pennies are a good example of electrodes, and the lemon is a good example of the electrolyte. When you bring all of these materials together, you get an electrochemical reaction which creates electricity, and which in turn will create fire. So I hope you have enjoyed my video and my explanation of this process. Thank you.